rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our mic's on. Good. Want to give me a mic?
Oh, absolutely, sir.
You working? Oh, it's about recording.
Yeah. It is on.
Hello? Can you hear me?
This one's on.
I can hear you.
That's what I'm looking at.
Well, you know what? This is my, I'll tell you why. Broken? Yeah, there's a
Is
why.
that, will that come over here?
Here.
Hey,
Here. Is that on?
okay.
Yes.
All right, roll call?
Mayor Caucus,
Here.
Mrs. Passio,
Here.
Mr. Ranieri,
Here.
Mrs. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Farrell,
Here.
Mrs. Kelly,
Here.
Mr. Root,
Here.
Mr. Wood,
Here.
Mr. Basor,
Here.
and Mr. Wright.
Mr. Raines. All right, public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given to the clerk, by the clerk in the following manner. One, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 6, 2015. And two, emailed to the retrospect and courier post on January 6, 2015. New business for this evening. We have a thank you note from Kristen Eversmeyer for the flowers. This is our employee in the front office who just had a baby girl.
She had a little baby girl, Lorelei. I have pictures that were hanging up on the bulletin board. Very nice.
I was owing and ahhing for a good
Yes,
10
I'm
minutes.
sure you were.
Thank you note from Nico Sammartino for graduation gift card. He was one of the young men that got a gift from the council for graduation for, was he both? St. Teresa's.
Do you have enough for stand?
Yeah, we will raise that a little bit next year. We will do a little better job. Mr. Root's making fun of, we only give $50. $50 doesn't make it.
But you give 5 gifts.
Yeah, now we're down to $5.
Update from Fiber Tech. Does Mr. Wood have any update on this? Are you aware that this was something?
I didn't know it was going to be on, but Fiber Tech wants to do their, they say they're going to run line just on the poles, not be disruptive, not be that. I wrote to them and said that, oh, yeah, you can't hear me, huh?
Well, thank God we have to.
So I wrote to them, Joyce and I kind of investigated other towns and what other towns had done, and so I wrote to them, and I think, I asked them for a set contribution monetarily, to offset our expenses of legal fees and so on and so forth, and I haven't heard back from them. I mean, they're generally disinclined to do that, because they say, well, it's in our agreement that we'll, reimburse, and I took the position that that's just more work. So, we're estimating that this is what it's going to be, and we're willing to live with that estimate. So we'll see what they say. They haven't gotten back to me.
And other municipalities are dealing with this also?
Other municipalities have done similar things, and others have done nothing. There's no consistency.
There's no consistency.
There's a surprise.
Okay. Update on Cali Court. Sorry to hit you too.
I haven't done anything on Cali Court. Cali Court's the one that has not completed their, so we have to move against the bond. They have a performance bond.
I mean, I think the position that hopefully council and everyone has is, the most recent development in our town was Cali Court. 9 homes, new homes were built. Typically what happens is at some point all the inspections from the engineer are completed for the work that they promised to do. Once that's done, the engineer signs off. They have a performance bond, we get the bond back, and the road gets dedicated to us, and we kind of move on. But this place is in a little bit of a limbo. One of the partners passed away, so there's another partner, he hasn't been able to finish.
This is years ago he passed away, not last week, like
No.
3-4 years.
It's been 3 or 4 years, and the other partner just doesn't, I don't think he's able to, or whatever, there's some reason. The homeowner association has to be created, there's a little bit of work that the engineer claims has to be done, correct, there is some work to be done. And then, obviously dedicating the road back to us is important because we plow it, we maintain it, things like that. We're not doing any of that right now.
Well, that's right, we're not doing that because it's not our road, we're not allowed to do it. So.
Yeah, so.
But
But obviously, the goal would be they have a performance bond of, I think, about over $80,000. That would be, I think, enough money to come in and fix the work that needs to be done.
okay, well,
So-
I'll work with Mark to and Joyce will get
Yeah,
it.
we just need to tell them, I think we just, my opinion is, I thought we sent them a letter saying we're gonna take your bond. I think we should just take his bond. I don't know
Yeah,
what
we
the
can,
process
yeah,
is.
okay,
Okay.
we'll just move against the bond. Okay.
And one more for you, letter regarding fence issue on Balsam Court. You have a letter here, you want to just update everyone on council that where we're at with this?
Balsam
John
Court.
Wade's letter.
What's that?
John Wade's letter.
Oh, John wrote it.
Yeah, let me see, I can,
At the last meeting, we have a, pretty much a resolution that John helped us out with, and I think council, I don't know if we have to adopt anything, but this is our new it's right here. It's basically, from our solicitor, this is what the conclusion is. Does everybody have a copy?
Yes.
And do you want me to summarize it? If you want to summarize it?
well, the short story is that, that the ordinance was unclear, perhaps. The code official had the right to interpret the ordinance, which he did, even though we believe that it was an error, but it is his job. There's a time frame for people to challenge that, long ago expired. And so John's opinion, and I don't disagree with that from a practical perspective and a legal perspective, is that as a result of all of that, this issue is moot. And the defense should be deemed at this point lawful, albeit it's actually in violation.
It said, he puts in non-conforming, pre-existing
Yeah,
non-conforming.
now it becomes a pre-existing.
So what we have is we have pre-existing non-conforming uses, we've resolved the problem moving forward, but these particular issues, if there becomes any problem, they would come from the planning board, or excuse me, the zoning board for any kind of issues to resolve it in the future.
But you might as well keep, should I keep on going, because I'm also.
Yeah, I think that's
I'm
you.
putting
You
out
got it.
others.
You're just.
So, we're moving forward, I'm gonna order the title work tomorrow. I've got communication from the DEP that the properties are, because of their use and history or not, they're not issuing anything because they don't need to. There's a little format that Mr. Del Sordo filled out, I sent a letter to his, thank you, Train, I can never remember his trainer, John. And saying, you know, here's a copy of what Mr. Del Sordo did. I want you to do the same thing for us. Just go online and get the form. I gave her the actual form, all completed by Bob, to make it as easy as possible as I could for her. So, you know, it's just, we gotta wait our time, get the title work done. If there's any issues, I'll address them with the sellers. I see the bond ordinance is on, so we should be ready to go by the end of July. And just on a kind of humorous note, in case you think that state government is even remotely efficient. So when you sell property that's not residential, you could be subject to something called the Bulk Sales Act, which is a provision that says that, so that the taxing authorities can make sure that you're up to snuff. It basically doesn't address individuals so much. And what they do is they write back and they say, well, we want you to hold X to escrow from the seller's proceeds until they file their final return, and we give you the okay, then you can release the X. So, as a safety precaution, even when I'm dealing with individuals, if it's a commercial use, I have the form completed and I submit it. So I sent it to them sometime last week or 10 days ago. My secretary unfortunately sent them by regular mail. And it says that you need to send them by certified mail. So they wrote me a letter. And the letter says, we have received your documents, but since you didn't send them to us by certified mail, we're not going to process them.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Please resend them by certified mail. Which was done, but I just thought that was insane.
So hopefully, just to piggyback on that, the buildings next door, we should be able to close at the July caucus meeting. Because our agreement of sale ends on July 31st. The last piece of the puzzle, do you want to piggyback on this? You want me to say anything, or, you know, there is a engineer did a walkthrough.
We did a walkthrough with the environmental specialist, and there could be some concerns with asbestos in ceiling tiles, plaster, and stuff like that, which would affect the demolition costs. It's best if we delineate what those issues are now, so about the demolition, we're not in a large change order, because what they'll do is come in and do a selective demo of the things in the pot and dispose of those properly with the DEP requires. They come in and they all start dismantling them. So we're going to be submitting a proposal what it would take to test those.
So, Yeah, what we're talking about is, there might be there's tile on the floor. And so if they come back as asbestos, what the engineer's saying is, when whoever bids on the job knows that they have to scrape those tiles up, put them in a bag, and dispose of them, and that would be on us on those tiles. And there might be some asbestos in some plaster, which we're not positive. There's none of that. Now, there's nothing terrible other than,
We get the votes in?
well, the idea is before we go out for bid that we have these numbers.
Sure, save yourself.
Because the goal here is to, after closing, the engineer will have his report done. We'll be able to go out for bid almost immediately to demolition these buildings, hopefully in the early fall. And they'll be taken down to below grade, and we'll have a dirt area for us to then start a parking lot in the spring. Or soon. Is there anything else on that, Bill? The engineer is giving us I don't mean to piggyback on Bob's meeting, but the engineer is going to submit a price for us to design the parking lot, which we've discussed before. So he's coming up with that number. We'll approve that and then authorize doing all this design work so that you're 100%. We're going to look at this design work, we'll have it all done so that we can go out for bid. I think fall is really pushing it for all of us to get it all 100% done. Obviously, get closing, to get it demoed, and then start work. We might run into the winter, and I think it's better for us to just start and do it right.
That'd be nice, even if we get it down before.
Well, I think it'll help us visualize everything too.
A sign could be up that says future site.
I said I would donate a sign. Okay, letter record. Okay, so discussion of first reading of ordinance for amending EMS charges. Joyce, did you want to? Where's that?
Mark, Fred sent me information sheet from DM Billing. He does the billing for our EMS. And they, not all of them are. We just had to change. We had to add in an Narcan.
A fee for the Narcan?
An EPI, I have to change that. EPI pen and a CPAP administration. We had to add those costs in. We had to up the cervical collar cost, and we had to up the mileage for BLS, loaded mileage, whatever that means. The base charge of $750 was still the same, and they actually had a lower price for something that we already charged for, so we didn't have to do anything with that.
Okay.
So these are the changes that they bring.
Okay, so hopefully no questions on that. Obviously, we have a building company. We're working with other entities.
That'll be for the next meeting?
Yeah. Okay. Discussion of this will be our July. We'll get that done. First reading. Discussion of first reading of ordinance for amending policy on the video for the police vehicles. Chief, you want to give us a quick update?
Like I said, I discussed with you one of the things we changed on it was we added that it's a 5-year retention of the policy. What happens is we have to retain everything in the server for 5 years. The Attorney General guidelines is very specific on retaining of evidence. Anything regarding a homicide must retain forever unless it's deemed by the prosecutor that they can waive it after the people involved in it are either deceased or have completed their incarceration, or if there's no appeals. Evidence must stay for 5 years. Or if we can apply for a waiver if everybody gets a PTI and they have exhausted their appeals. So 5 years was the recommended.
So everybody good on this then? Because we are getting
two cameras in cars, car number 4 and number 11. They're the brand new cars, the Ford Interceptors. Then every year every time we get a new car, when a new car comes in, the camera will be added. And as of March 15th, it was made in the law that you will have cameras in police vehicles. So that is a must.
Now, the other thing, just to, I did read an article that Deptford Township is actually suing the state, saying that this is an unfunded mandate.
That is correct.
Under the Constitution that they're doing now. Supposedly there's an offset charge on your DUIs. Is that their next?
Yes, they're going to start charging people as like VCC, Victim Compensation Act. We're going to add on a couple of dollars to drunk driving convictions.
So it's supposed to help offset it, but I don't know if how this council feels. I think the cameras are a pretty good idea.
The cameras
But there is an argument that the state is
a
a
way to go.
Yeah.
Because their cameras can save, by one lawsuit saved, pay for all the cameras.
The argument is in the state constitution, it says that the state has no right to make local municipalities
And if they do, they must provide.
do something that there's a cost to it, so they call it an unfunded mandate. Are you aware of this lawsuit or this?
Yeah, but I'm well aware of that.
Yeah, so school districts have to deal with it a lot. There's a council that rules on this, but I don't know.
But any vehicle now.
They're appointed by the state. I don't know how well.
Any new vehicle?
Any new patrol vehicle bought.
Any newer used
Will-
vehicle that's
any-
bought after March.
Any new vehicle that's bought, police vehicle. Now, this does not include detectives, administration, that's.
Non-traffic.
Yeah, but any vehicle that can be used for traffic must have it. And all of our vehicles with lights on it have the capability of being used for traffic, so they're going to have it. Our officers going to be trained on it, everyone's going to sign off on a policy, whether the vehicle with the cameras in your car or not, you are required to abide by it.
I think personally, people think that all police vehicles already have it.
You think? I thought so.
You know, just to add to this, 2 weeks ago, the legislature passed a resolution that will require all this is a resolution, it's not law yet, that every municipality will have to supply their officers with body cameras.
Awesome.
So it's coming.
Yes,
Body
as I
cameras
said,
are coming.
we're not.
It's not a law, just a resolution, but it's coming.
Body cameras officer. None are unfunded yet.
And you'll notice that the resolution, the ordinance rather, is just amending the police policies and procedures. The whole policy is not there. The whole policy is very comprehensive. Paul did a great job in finding it and setting it up, and then we worked together and we modified it for us. The time frame, I was concerned that there could be issues, not just when by the way, when the appeal time is done or you finish your PTI or you got out of jail, but there could be issues where people might come after us for doing something consistently wrong. And there's having it fit the footage would demonstrate that we haven't been doing it consistently wrong. That's why I think we should keep it for the full 5 years. Just a thought. But so when you look at it, it's going to say what the next policy. The policy is a separate thing which we can get you if you need.
Is it in the policy how the camera is turned on? Is it an automatic turn on, or is it turned on by
Yes.
the officer?
That's all.
As soon as the officer turns the car on,
What, as soon as the
as
officer?
John was there during, when the officer gets in the car, he turns that vehicle on, that camera comes on. It's the officer's responsibility to make sure that the date and the time is correct. Okay, now, in the back of the cars, as I was saying, we must have lettering on the shield in the back, the spit shield, telling people that they are being recorded in English and in Spanish. So because under a wiretap law, he must know. So you have to put English and Spanish, because if you have somebody in the back of the car that's under arrest, you can turn the camera around and record them if they start banging their head against the window to protect yourself from any frivolous lawsuits. And if they make an excited utterance, that can be used as evidence against them in the case.
Okay.
Pretty thorough.
Okay, thank you very much. Discussion of electronic tax sale. Ms. Pinto, you want to just brief everybody on this?
Yes, a few years ago, the legislature amended the
We're
statute
talking to microphone, it's kind of loud.
for tax sales. And they are allowing towns to conduct the sales electronically. It's only been around for maybe 3 or 4 years. I went to a seminar on it. I spoke to the collector in Borough, who would be her 3rd year using it, and she really likes it. We advantage for me is the day of the sale. The day of the sale ties up myself, ties up Rich, and ties up another clerk in the office to then sit here and conduct the sale as an auction here. This would all be done online. The cost would be $15 per property on the initial list that's sent. We are permitted to send out 3 notices we have to send out 3 notices to the residents, in addition to putting an ad in the paper, but not the ad that everyone is familiar with, which is a long list. We're only required to put a tiny little display ad.
Do you have a copy of that one that Voorhees did?
I don't have it here.
Voorhees had done it, it was just a little small square.
It's a
Current
display
post.
ad, as opposed to a legal ad.
Yes.
And it gives the website to go to look at the tax sale.
So instead of listing everyone's properties, which is an expense for us, and then the $15 cost can be recovered at the
Correct,
sale.
by the lower cost of the ad, and by the, every time we send a notice out, we can charge $25 to the property owner. So in essence, if they don't come in to pay after the 3 notices that have to go out, it would be $75 charge, in addition to the normal cost of sale, which is $15 through $100.
Now, do we have to pass a resolution? Is it an
Yes,
ordinance?
and that's what the packet that I put on the counter is what was sent to me by the company that, the only company that's been approved by the state of New Jersey to do New Jersey tax sales. And the first thing I would need, the first thing that would be required would be a resolution by council allowing me to apply to the state, because it's a pilot program, to conduct the sale electronically. That is the resolution. Then there is an application. I actually only have to fill out the first page. I submit that to the state, and you can see at the end there's a sample letter at the end. And then they would approve it. You don't even have to do it. Even if you go through with this and I decide afterward that I don't want to do the electronic, I don't have to. But this is what allows me into the program.
What's everybody think about this? I mean, obviously, to save
If it can go
3 days of
faster,
labor.
smoother, with less, it's more efficient,
Yeah.
I'm all for
And
it.
hopefully it would also, I think, allow more people to be engaged in the tax sale.
Trees down all over the place.
Correct. And I had some concerns. I called.
Clerk and Voorhees?
I called the clerk and boards. I also spoke to the woman that is out there soliciting for the company. I wanted to make sure that the subsequent taxes were paid by these lien holders, which is once you have a tax sale, after 10 days, the lien holder can come in and pay anything delinquent on the property. So if you're delinquent for we only sell prior to rental, we don't do an accelerated sale here. So if 2014 taxes are delinquent, that would mean that 15 is delinquent right now, but I can only sell 14. Well, once that sale takes place, the lien holder can come in and pay 15 current also, which helps our tax rate. Which is, so, and she told me that they've been really great at paying subs. That most of them are large corporations. There's a few individuals here and there, and the premiums have been tremendous. I have a meeting on the 29th with the woman that's coming down from the company. She's going to give me a demo. But I really would like to get this moving, because I don't know how long the state will take in their great efficiency.
Make sure you send it certified by
to give me approval. So I would ask that you give me permission to
Yeah, I think we should put this on.
I agree.
Oh, I can do it tonight? That'd be
Fast track.
great.
You want to do it tonight?
Yes.
Fast track.
Wonderful.
Is there any other discussion on this before we, I mean, does everybody understand what we're doing now? Just to make it clear, what Joyce was talking about, the accelerated tax, some of our neighbors do that. It's a double-edged sword. Lynn, you know it better, how the accelerated works.
An accelerated sale would not only would we sell the prior year taxes, we could sell the current year taxes.
We don't do that because what that does, that really puts a lot of pressure on the residents. It's really much more aggressive.
If there's any,
Our goal is not to be that aggressive, at least that's mine.
well, our auditors do not recommend.
And the owners do not recommend.
Because our tax rate is really, it's a very good rate. And once you get, like, you'll have Camden that'll do current year. Most of the towns are in deep stress that do it. Though it seems though more and more are doing it because you get a giant influx of cash that year. You actually hold 2 sales the first year.
Okay.
But
So,
I think we should move on this to.
all right, so let's call this resolution, do you have a number, Joyce?
there's one other resolution on the appointments, and 101, 15101.
So this will be
This will
15101.
be 15101.
Okay, this will be a resolution authorizing council to,
Submit an application to the state to be part of a pilot program for electronic taxing.
okay, everybody got that? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
It's for the electronic tax sale. We're making a motion.
Yes. Yeah, it's green, sorry.
Wrong name. Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
6 ayes.
Okay, the resolution is adopted.
Public Works is on there, they're gonna be coming in, there's trees down everywhere, there's a big tree down on Irish Hill, so.
Irish Hill?
Yeah, there's trees down, so they're waiting till the electricity kind of dies down, because it's like extremely raining out there, big time, so they're gonna be coming in, so I'm sure they'll be.
Well, that's good to clear the streets. It's good.
The generator kicked on, so we know.
Did the generator kick on?
You didn't see it blink and go on?
Yeah.
Is it off now or is it on?
Wow.
I don't know.
We wouldn't even know if we were on regular power or a generator.
Once it restored, it started.
I saw the blinking, but I thought maybe it was the power.
Are we the only ones with power?
How would we
Great.
know? Is power out all over?
That's
Well,
good.
power's
Yeah.
out at my house. it's
Power's
back
out all
there.
over.
You had a check for us, Mr.
Good, that's.
Mr. Bay Shore.
Fire
Okay.
Thank God it works.
Down the siren.
Thank God it works.
He was sitting there praying.
Right in front of me here.
Okay.
That scares me, it's gonna come down.
I've already complained about it.
The other resolution is, we're going to jump into the other one since we're doing two of them this evening. The resolution is for,
Appointing the,
Appointments?
appointing the kids for summer help.
okay, so resolution 15100, resolution confirming 2015 appointments, summer recreation program. Alex Taliaferro is the director at $1,800 stipend. Robert Aaron, counselor at $8.25 per hour. Sean Stone, counselor. Samantha Stone, counselor. Dominique Doherty, counselor. Kenzie Cardy, counselor. Is there another one, Mr. Root?
No.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt resolution 15-100?
I so move. I second that motion.
Motion by Kelly, second by Passio. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
6 ayes.
These
Mr.
are
White.
wonderful counselors this year.
Mr. Root, who picked the council?
Wow.
Mr. Telfair,
Nice.
I only recommended the Stones.
Okay.
He picked the rest.
Might as well go to the, well, and we'll go to the public ordinance, the ordinance first, because this is our bond ordinance for the purchasing of the building and the demolition. So this is a public hearing for ordinance 15-14. This is a bond ordinance authorizing the acquisition of real property and completion of various improvements thereunto and for the Borough of Runnemede, County of Camden, New Jersey, appropriating sum of $700,000. Okay, this is the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance, this bond ordinance only, please come up to the microphone. I see no one. Is there a motion to close the public portion?
I so
Motion?
move.
Okay, motion by Kelly, second by Moore. All in favor?
Aye.
Public portion is closed. Is there a motion to adopt?
I make a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
Is there a second? Second by Ms. Moore. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
6 ayes.
Chief, we don't have to do the ordinance for the police policy this evening, correct?
No, you can do it at council, but ordinance needs to be passed for it.
All right, so we might as well go on to a little roundtable discussion. Mr. Farrell, you want to go first?
We met today, Mayor Kapadas, Councilwoman Passio, and Mark Shore, and we talked about different projects we have going on in town, Singley Avenue, 3 intersections. We're going to be working on the building next door.
I gotta go, I got a tree down the side of my house.
Did you want to record anything? Was there anything?
No, I'll hold it till-
So we'll let everybody know that the Public Works is out there picking up
Yeah,
branches,
please.
and the police will let Public Works.
Size of the tree on my house right now, so I really need to go.
See you later.
All right,
That's fine.
I don't have my phone.
No, no, I'm okay. It's okay. All right.
You don't have your phone?
Well, I got a new
Leave it, leave
Pro.
it.
These are all signed.
And one of my guys is trying to upload it because I can't do
I'm sorry.
that.
Good day.
I'm up for a pocket full of changes.
Working on coming up with a solution on the buildings next door, demolition and everything, and Mark Baser will have a little more to discuss with
Elaborate on
that.
it.
Yeah, elaborate.
It's 26 pages. Okay,
All
thank
the
you.
best projects.
Okay, Mr. Rue, you had something else tonight?
Yeah, what I'd like to introduce to council is I went out and met with Runnemede girls softball. And living close to it, not walking up to it, it looks good from afar, but now when I went to a meeting, they have a lot of problems down there. And it was the same that the RY was doing. They were on a shoestring budget that they were on, whatever they made this deal with the devil for years ago, to take these stipends. And they never update anything, and they can't afford to update anything. People don't want to pay for baseball registration to fix a building or to fix fields. They just want to have their little kids play. They want to have their little kids play and get a uniform, basically. So I went down there and I walked around the complex with Dave Evangelist. One, we had a communication problem with the streets department on cutting the grass. That has been taken care of. But in the meantime, with them not cutting the grass on the outside, there's a lot of overgrowth, which is simple to fix by just having them go down there and keep working at it and try to gain some of our property back that we've been losing on the road that heads down by the softball field and the little path that goes, because they have fields in the back that they need this path, which brings me to basically three areas of these fields. There's safety, ADA compliance, and functions of the field. Safety is pretty much the bleachers are Jurassic, since that's the movie out just now. They're so old and unsafe. They have no backing on them.
They're all tilted.
Well, the property's not the greatest either, so the one is tilted back with no backing on it. And and I believe we did get Rich has a letter from the insurance company stating that we do need to replace these bleachers. So that's going to be something I need to move on. But as for like the ADA compliance and the functions of the field, I'm going to have to sit there and propose something to the council to see if we can do what we did to RYAA, but for girls softball. It's not going to be as much. Well, for say, a couple things out there. The process of getting to this back field is impossible for somebody in a wheelchair. Obviously, or somebody in a walker, if grandma wants to go out and see her grandchild, there's just no access back there. We need to get a trail back there, whether it's concrete, asphalt. We need slabs for the bleachers. They got bleachers sitting on dirt, or just a little bleachers, but they're just sitting on dirt, and it's very unsafe.
There's no covered...
There's no covered dugouts. The fences are aged, just like the RY were. So we're going to probably approach in the three. The safety first is the bleachers. Then the ADA compliance, and see what we need to comply with ADA.
Like handicap parking and
Handicap
access.
parking, they have a bathroom that you need to probably have a little bit of mountain climbing experience to get to. So there's no way somebody handicapped is going to get into this bathroom.
Where's that?
In the clubhouse.
The clubhouse, you gotta go up like 3
Yeah,
steps.
you gotta go up the step and step up into it,
Step
and then,
So it's quite a project.
well, it's, yeah. And
One of the
the
problems-
building itself is basically, it's lower than the grade. The building is not the grade outside, grade on the field, and it sits on the field. The girl, if she runs into the clubhouse, then she's out of bounds. That's the foul line. That's the fence is part of the building, so it's really not safe on that end. But but the dirt is like 6 to 8 inches higher than the slab. So they're getting dirt pouring into from the one corner pouring in, just because it's built up over the years at the field. So it just leads to, you know, it's a snowball when you start looking at this building.
What are we looking in the way of money here?
You know,
Just
I
a
really
ballpark.
have no idea, so what's gonna take to fix this building, or
I would,
add on to it, because you're not gonna add, you're not gonna.
Let me
put
say
fence.
something first. The most important thing, Mr. Root and I spoke, was we have an insurance, risk manager who comes into the borough, evaluates our properties and things like that. So this is the issue. This is our property. This is owned by the taxpayers, this piece of land. So the bleachers are obviously the number one issue that has to be resolved. Now, Mr. Root, when we're down at the RY field and some of the other fields, we've resolved the bleachers, and I think we can do that probably quickly. So that's only several $1,000s of bleachers, not terrible. We think we could probably get that done right away, because the letter we got from the insurance company wasn't remove them immediately, but it was, these are hazardous, you are now being given notice.
Yeah, they
Better
got to
take care of
second week
it.
in July.
Where did the
is their
bleachers come
season.
from? They're not the ones that were given to them.
But these are the wooden ones that.
No, these are-
The old ones,
Yeah.
that are just all wicked ones.
So, and then the second issue with it, you know, there's, I couldn't tell you, I think how much money we're gonna put down there. As you know, we have all these competing interests with how much money. But one thing we've done, just to let everybody know,
What
is
about grants?
there may be some money for, we have 25,000 we get per year typically from the county. We could do a little bit with that. But I think Mr. Root's saying it's a lot more than that. The second big issue is we're no longer.
Grants, the $25,000 from the county is not good, but we could try to get different grants. Definitely is on the
Well,
option.
didn't we hire a grant writer?
We did, we just approved that at the last meeting, so now this could be something that we can have a meeting over and say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think what Mr. Root's trying to say, I don't mean to get on there too much, but obviously it's a huge project, and there's no way to know what this cost is gonna be until we start coming up with.
So I think getting on the grant writer situation would be a big help.
question number one for the immediate situation, the bleachers, right? Do we want the same size bleachers approximately, just the pads have to be redone and the bleachers have to be ordered?
Well, there is some slab issues that we probably have to take care of. The bleachers that, I'm not too concerned with the same size. I just want, what we found out that the most popular bleacher, I believe it's like a 55-person bleacher. But you're not getting 55 people on this bleacher, you know. But you have to make it handicapped. And they come handicapped accessible. And a bleacher, believe it or not, the handicap has to be in the middle. You can't put a wheelchair on either side, because that is treating it's against the ADA. You have to.
You haven't looked for pricing, right?
No.
I just met them out there and just.
We bought two at the other
You're
field.
gonna
Yeah.
negotiate to review some of these
We do,
projects?
but I think Mr. Wright, if he's here, he would argue that one of the things we should do though is we shouldn't just buy them, we should buy them and have something assembled.
We had the streets department assemble
It
one
was
of
an
the.
overwhelming project.
And
I
it
think
was.
you have it all incorporated.
And maybe while they're there, they can do the pads and get.
Well, that might be a deal with Belmar.
Yeah, that would be probably shared.
Did you bring that letter from Jeff, or just discuss
Would there
it?
have to be
Mr. Seville?
Would there have to be a renegotiation of the stipend and all that?
Well, I think this is the final.
Oh, the stipend's done.
The stipend is
No,
done.
that's not.
We've
Yeah,
now
we
come-
stopped giving the stipend out. Yeah.
We now are in charge of,
So it's back to us.
As to what?
How many goes away?
I would say probably, probably less than,
we gotta go for T-ball.
yeah, I'm probably thinking probably around 75.
So, and what are they doing, I was vice president for you.
Oh, they
I was
were.
softball for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, I forget how long. So we as an organization fundraise, and we encourage the teams to reach out to the parents and stuff to fundraise, so that we could acquire things. I mean, the town was participating, helping us with the fields and so on.
I think that's a great idea.
We went out and fundraised with parents and with local businesses, you know, so.
And they've done that, Len. They've done a
A
lot.
little plaque on the bleachers.
Yeah, they get.
They put their own scoreboard on the, if you went down there in the fields, like Mr. Root said, they look pretty good. There are some covered bleachers, covered dugouts, right?
Yeah.
They built block dugouts. They just didn't finish.
Teams, you know, the teams can be sponsored, you
Yeah.
know, for a certain amount of money, which will cover the cost of the.
It's definitely a partnership, I agree with you. But
It should be on the table for discussion and allow, well, that should be a priority, bleachers and the safety.
Well, we're gonna be the ones who get sued if someone falls
Well,
off.
that should, the issue, it should be started as what needs to be done.
Safety.
Not what we'd like to have done, what needs to be done. So
Safety's done.
we should start pricing it all out.
Well, the only thing I'll say, Mr. Root did find out that the last baseball game is, softball game is July.
Second week of July.
So one of the things that I think is, once the softball season is over, we should have Public Works remove those elevated bleachers and then start the process.
Respectfully, say we should do it immediately, but, when the trees are up.
You think we should do, you think we should do it immediately?
If they're that much
Really?
nature, if they're uneven,
Just get them out.
I know it creates an inconvenience voting from the side of, well, council decided that for convenience of teams, et cetera, that they left it up, and unfortunately the kid fell. I mean, and it's no different than how long it's been there and it hasn't happened.
It's been discussed, we should get it down.
What do you think, Mike?
I'll make a call.
The only thing we could do is we could move some of those portable ones over there.
Yeah, the ones from the backside.
We had a couple small portable ones.
We use the sidewalk area.
Well, they're low enough that they could be on the side.
Yeah, these are GIF approved.
Remember the small ones that are only like 24 inches? I know, I hear you, I don't like the one that,
Concrete, I don't think that's a-
But you're an attorney.
What would the basic statement about the concrete?
one of the things that the risk manager said was that the height and the fact that you fall on the concrete. So what I think Rich is saying is even the small ones, you don't fall into dirt, you fall into concrete.
Well, we were told we had to put them on concrete.
But that's only the pad, not where you
Right.
fall.
Oh,
not, so you're,
The pad's on.
it sits inside.
Gotcha.
It sits- So it overlaps the pad.
Right.
So the pad's underneath.
The pad's underneath.
Right, so as long as we can back
Unless you
it up
slide,
to-
unless you fall in between,
Right.
you know, you're gonna fall hopefully on the soft, whether you put dirt or put.
So it's gotta be backed up to the grips, which they can't do that, that's all.
No, on the one side.
Right.
There's no grass on the one side. Do you think we should get rid of it immediately? Well, then I think we gotta tell Public Works to do it immediately. Okay?
When was it that we got the letter?
On Friday?
I've got a draft, Thursday, Friday. I think it's addressed to you.
Yeah, it was addressed to
Public Safety Director.
but I think he got it as the administrator. He sent something over. I wasn't sure who you sent it to. Yeah.
Oh, it came to me as the Fund Commission.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
So this is our first meeting, and so I
And
think,
I would like to be able to report that we're acting on it.
well, then I think we should, I think if Rich and the engineer and everyone says we should get rid of it, we should
Do it.
we should
I don't want.
send two guys over. They're wooden. They can be cut up very quickly with reciprocal saw.
Yeah, this way I can go to the meeting next month and say,
You need to vote to find out if there's some
it's either done or we're doing it.
Yeah, and we just
Mike,
maybe.
keep me posted on that, please, so I can.
But they have districts now, don't they? Or don't they have districts now?
I don't know what, they're not Little League.
Mhm.
So technically, they probably just have playoffs and, you know, maybe call it, I think they do call it a tournament.
It's a big tournament. They get a lot of.
Yeah.
But that's their.
Yeah, that's not here.
But I think they travel, don't they have 1,000 different teams before they go to the, oh, it's all just the Gloucester? I thought they had, there's two different,
Like this.
okay, there was two different tournaments they do.
I'll talk to the president and see,
It's usually the tournaments when everything contained, because they're making the money, so they wouldn't do all the games there.
They don't want Gloucester City games.
So Michael, what are we gonna do? What's your plan? You're gonna make a call?
We'll get Public Works to remove them.
oh, yeah, the bleachers is a no-brainer. That's just tear them down and get rid of them and,
So you're gonna make a call, let softball know about this?
yeah, I'll talk to,
And then.
I'll email them tonight.
And then the bleachers will be gone, they won't be able to use them. We'll get someone in there to put the pads, and by the time the pads are done, we'll be able to put the new bleachers on.
I think we just need one pad, right? I think we need two pads.
I think we need, one pad and creative.
To level it.
Yeah, something needs to be done back. on that
Yeah, the
front.
slope, it slopes back towards Holly.
But,
which is dangerous.
but if they're not gonna allow, so say if it's a bleacher up to par with the fencing in the back of it.
You could have
Can I
concrete.
put that in concrete?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It was no backing.
Right.
If you have no backing, you fall on, is that what it said in the letter? If you fall on concrete? He was afraid to fall into the asphalt. He's falling
Yeah,
on
that's
the
right on the
asphalt.
street. They got that sitting right on the street. The new bleachers have a fence that go around the back.
Do you remember how much
We
these
have them at
bleachers
the
cost?
Borough.
last
Yeah.
time? $3,000, how much was
So
it?
how many bleachers would you order?
Well, they have 4 of them out there. They have 4 that are probably not up to code.
Right,
So
so you're gonna order 4 more?
I don't know if they need, I would leave it up to them. I don't know if they need another 4 on, they probably need the 2 on the big field,
And one on
probably
the
just
small.
1 on the small field. I don't know if they need.
You might need to buy 3.
The second one on the other one's just kind of like pushed in the back where kids hang out when they play basketball. You know, so it's not really it's used on the field. So I think we could probably get away with 3, but.
They're gonna be over soon, but,
But that would have to do, you know, we'd need slab on that side too.
Yeah.
that, it is, okay, so we'll get it ordered.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Mike, keep me posted.
Did you have anything else that you ordered? You got your counselors?
Got the
Something like you
counselors.
would tell people how many people signed up?
We actually, it was amazing. I believe on Wednesday we had 25. By today, I think we're almost at 70.
Woo, wow.
So a lot of little kids, opening it up for little kids was great. A lot of little kids are there, they're having a blast. Mr. Telefera is excellent. He's by the book, he has schedules out, everybody knows what they're gonna do at what particular day. And he's only dealing with 3 hours, not 6 like we used to, but he's got it running well. And all the counselors are great. We actually hired an extra one. Robert Aaron is an extra one that we put on because of the amount of kids that we had.
Yeah,
We were gonna go with 4, decided to go with 5.
wow, that's great.
So, and now the rest is right.
Okay, Mr. Wood, did you have anything else?
No, good.
Mr. Ranieri?
Okay. Finance department's not as exciting as the rest of these departments.
We'll come up with some, we'll get you some projects.
I want to try to make it exciting. We are currently waiting on the county to approve the tax rate for the local board of education, as every year we are. Regional Board of Education, the county of Camden, and also the Borough of Runnemede. Once we get receive our rate from the county, we'll be getting our tax bills out to the residents. And as I've mentioned before, the Borough of Runnemede was able to provide a slight tax reduction, and let's just hope that the others come in somewhere close. I've been working on the newsletter with the mayor and council president, Patty, and also Nancy Anderson. It should be ready for print in a few weeks, approximately. Also working on upgrading our website, which we'll get to when we're done with a little more time into it when we get done with the newsletter. The Office of Emergency Management, as you can see, it's going to be needed at times. We just had a generator go on. We had decided and issued Charlie, we talked about it on the previous meeting, $1,500 to upgrade some of his important equipment, a printer, and a hard drive, or he's getting a laptop. So
Who's that? Who's that?
Charlie.
Does he have a budget?
That's his budget.
That's gonna be it, 1,500.
He's got a budget now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so he's happy about that. And I've begun to look and investigate the upcoming long-term municipal bond finance project. I'm looking forward to working with Rich, the mayor, and the Acacia Finance Group. And as I move forward with the long-term financing, I will keep everybody updated as well. Other than that progress.
Thank you very
Very
much.
good.
Okay, Mr. Basil, you can,
Mr. Mayor,
get 30 pages.
no, Bob covered some of it, so I'll just try and hit on other things. South Oakland Avenue survey and base plans are done. We're looking to advertise in July and hopefully get it awarded in August for September and October construction. Singley Avenue improvements, we're looking to advertise that next week, get it awarded probably at the July caucus, and then go to construction in August. Borough Hall safety improvements and space planning. We completed the as-built survey. We met with the engineering committee and the administrator today, talked about some space planning issues, how we're going to coordinate the layout of the building with the new parking lot and an entranceway. So Steve Baca and our team of architects are going to come up with a little bit of a game plan, and then we'll get back together with the committee and see if we can define the process that way. Irish Hill Road is complete. We're just going to work with Rich if he needs help with Joe Sienna's bills and whatnot. The Harry Williams Gymnasium roof and lighting. I sent out a memo today regarding some of the costs and possibilities that you can do for fixing the roof permanently instead of the Band-Aid that's out there now. Rich said you basically have to figure that in next year's bond if you want to move forward with those issues. And then we're going to work with Rich and your qualified purchasing agent regarding the New Jersey energy for the lighting out of the gym. Two things that aren't on tonight's agenda when we were talking about going was the no parking zones on Evesham and West Third Avenue. Those are in my report as enclosures B and C if you want to consider those for July's meeting.
Yeah, I think we should put them on. These are, here, I'll come back to them. Do you have this?
Are they parking on the Shammy out? They still parking there?
Yeah. It's the legal description.
Signage?
It's the legal description that allows us to pass an ordinance that would make those areas as requested by the chief or recommended by the chief and engineering committee to make those two areas no parking areas.
And then,
I think the council said they were okay with doing that. It was
Yeah.
only making a small area as no
so there's
parking.
no parking there, and now there's still parking there? Is
We
that
don't have
what
any
you're
signs yet.
Well, there's no signs, we have to pass the ordinance
Curbs
first.
aren't- And the curbs aren't being.
We need a legal description showing, right, is that what you put, meets and bounds almost? And then we can do first reading at the next council meeting, and then following. But this will be ready for school anyway. School's out at this point, so these are, I think, school issues.
And you can always put signs up now, it's just not enforceable, but it might deter people from doing it.
Did you hear that, Paul?
Well, that's public works or orders.
Oh, I thought Paul was thinking it. Where have you, Paul?
So we'll put those on, does everybody agree with that? And we'll put that on for the,
Are these okay as is?
They're okay as is.
thank you.
The slip lining project, we've been coordinating with DEP with their comments and replying to them. The Borough Hall emergency generator, we made a recommendation for final payment last month, so I think it works, so I think they should get paid.
That's amazing.
A little note.
At the last payment, we're going to, it comes out.
That's great.
Warren Range, we're
That's really good advertising.
That's all I have to report on, unless anybody has any questions regarding any issues.
Just one thing brought up at the committee meeting, which I thought was very interesting. Mr. Wright brought up the fact that this generator does need to be maintained. And I think the committee's going to go out to look for some mechanism, some way, vendor, some process where we keep an eye on this generator and all the other generators we own.
It doesn't come with some kind of a couple-year,
Warranty?
There's a warranty, but not.
not like a 1 year, the first year?
But not the maintenance side. And we have generators, just to let you know where other generators are located. We have one at the firehouse. We have one generator at the firehouse, one at the Lakeview pump station, one at Central's pump station, one at Detmar.
Orchard Avenue Pump Station.
Orchard Avenue, Detmar. So we have almost all our pump stations,
All of that generators.
all of them have generators.
Who's in charge of it?
No?
Sewer authority. Jack Hunt.
Sewer department is in charge of the ones.
The ones of the smaller ones.
Mr. Mayor, I think the main thing is keeping the fuel in that, because we have to keep checking on that fuel.
Fuel's full.
Is it full? Even though it's turned on?
Used to.
Wow, it's a good big tank. So, but that's something else that was brought up, so that could be a project for finance to look into.
Can we share services?
Talking about maintenance? I'll
Can
look
we
into
share
it.
services with the
I'm gonna look
school?
into it. I'll get some good prices.
Talk to Mr. Wright.
Mark's gonna reach out to the vendor that put in, so that's.
See if they were, but they're in, where are they
Just make sure
located?
it gets done.
They're in Conshohocken, but we might want to find something local. Okay, what else do we have? Mr. Basham, did you have anything else?
That was the end of my report.
Okay, Mr. Wright, the floor is yours.
Tomorrow, a gentleman is coming in to do a final walkthrough for the overheads. Expect that to be done by next caucus, can't promise next council meeting.
The overhead projector.
It's gonna be great.
We met with a representative from the company that does chairs, for those chairs in Kirkland. I guess there's, of course, a whole range of chairs available depending on your taste and price. We asked Teresa to come over because it's work related, and she felt that non-padded, non-cushioned chairs that can't be constructed and can't be spilled on or fluids on, et cetera, was probably the best route to go. I was kind of leaning towards at least having a bottom cushion and you could clean the chair if it needed to be cleaned. She was referring to some instances in the past. But a few things have popped up over the past 24 hours. They have a flex chair that's all poly, that she says the latest grade is coming out, the rep. And that's $112 a chair, and we're looking at 100. And then there was one that we looked at that had a cushion pad and had a different design. It looked a little nicer, and that was 193. So you can go from 11.2 to 19.3.
But these chairs are all locking chairs.
We looked into that. The clips that they had were just snap clips. Teresa said that wouldn't do. We felt that the zip ties would be a better look and way to go about it. We're going to move them twice a year for the most part. That was part of why we wanted the flexibility of the projector in case we had a class.
Yeah.
So we don't have to move the chairs around for that. So we have 2 elections, and other than that, I don't see any reason why we'd be moving them. So I think they were like, for example, a little slider that goes on the bottom of the chair is 10.20. Yeah, I mean, that might be one for both sides. I mean, there's
What is it?
the things that make the chair slide.
$10 each chair.
So there's the things like add up price-wise.
They stack, right? They
Yeah,
stack.
chairs will be stacked. I don't know what the pleasure is. I mean,
I'd like to
We
see
don't
what
have
they
people-
look like.
Yeah, but they can see
I
these.
mean, I don't know what they look like.
Teresa can whittle
Can
it
you
down to
give
a
us
couple and then bring them in.
we had them, we had a picture of them. We had them go and do the demo.
I have them upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Look at what he's talking about. I reviewed these chairs, I did a lot of testing. No, pictures.
Oh,
The pictures, the ones you're talking about, that's blue, they show orange,
they put out,
There's not many choices anymore. She's been director of this chair over and over again. There's not really many choices. I don't see.
But you're still saying we're gonna have the zip tie every,
I've seen a lot.
that is the best route, huh? Okay.
So,
But I think that the question is, given that we're going to be looking for bleachers, I also was informed yesterday that the surveillance system is shot, so I have folks that came in today, installed, the recommended quote is looking at $15,000.
Surveillance
These are
system
things
for
that
where?
have the choice. This is why.
For where?
Because in the court, in the booking areas, in the police station, it's the primary police department.
Does that include the extra cameras we were talking about, like the dead spot in the hallway and things like that?
I'm worried about right now the primary areas that.
So this would come out of buildings and grounds budget?
Shop meeting's not working now.
I'm looking at 15,000, Rich? But I think that's important.
Well, I think we would authorize
That's why I
it.
think it's.
We authorize it immediately to repair.
That was the recommendation for the thing that is creating an addition regarding that. And I think there should be alternate procedures established in the meantime, with the internal process to make sure that you're covered from liability, acquisition stuff.
All right.
It's an emergency, another emergency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to make a resolution
Well,
on
no, I
that?
think it's a budgeted item. We don't-
It's a budgeted item?
Important item that it's a priority item.
Yeah, we'll just have to get it fixed. It has to be fixed.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing I'll say about the chairs is, if there's any way that she brought the chair, she didn't leave it.
No, I mean, they can come back, but I don't think that.
Give us the recommendation, the shops.
I just need to know that we're not going to be sitting here for 8 hours in school taking classes, what are we looking for?
No, I just was I was in West Berlin's firehouse the other day, and they had set
Both
up,
adorable, both are going.
they set up a classroom in their one area. And I think they wear those type of chairs that you talked about. I think the logic was, you're right, they're easily stacked, they're easily cleaned, they're all poly ones. I wish I took a picture of them.
They'll probably age much better than the material as well.
Well, the cloth does, it's a good point. You can weight them down.
Yeah. And the look will be, so every time we want to take them apart.
Twice a year for the 2 elections,
We
we'll
have to undo the ties.
There's a zip tie, you cut it with repair cutters, and then when you're done, you zip tie them again, and
What's it gonna look like?
these were zip ties. And they only just recently were unzip tied, they need to be re-zip tied.
You have to keep them that way because somebody can't pick a chair up and throw it at the judge or hit me with it.
Or the mayor.
So the zip tie works okay?
We've had them here forever.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't even notice it, they were zip tied.
No.
Yeah, because they were, did you remember they were, yeah. Okay, anything else?
I think you probably discussed the other items. The other one, I think that when I was talking earlier about an intern pregnancy.
We did not talk about it.
Eli talked about it. We haven't talked about it here yet.
We can talk about it.
Freddie asked me if we would take on an intern who has been trained, took her own course in EMT training. And and she would like to work with our town and be on the street and in the ambulance to get more
Oh,
experience.
non-paid intern?
Non-paid.
Is there a is that a resolution? Is it an ordinance? What do we have to do? Just a resolution?
What else?
We're still gonna follow our
How
regular
is it gonna be for
process.
2 months,
Yes,
6
I
months?
believe that
forever?
I believe that Fred gave you all her paperwork.
But is there a limited time?
Pardon me?
What's the time frame?
I'm assuming just a few months because
I think
it's.
it's important that.
We'll put it in the resolution.
Yeah,
We'll find out.
Yeah, Fred just gave me an idea that,
So we can reach out to them between now and the meeting, since a resolution, we can do it at the next meeting.
Should we have an ordinance of some type about the?
Interns?
Yeah,
Oh, I got it.
for liability accidents?
Well, they have to still be sort of an appointment to cover that.
We had an intern
The difference is.
We done
between
before.
emergency manager.
They're in a speeding vehicle,
What's
you
the
know,
difference between a volunteer and the?
but the vehicle insurance probably.
I don't know.
I'll go with
Oh, if you can find these last details out, we can put on the, Joyce, if you want to put it on there as a pencil in case we do it.
The other thing that we're making sure is across the board, as our Monday morning meetings, is making sure we're applying across all the departments the pre-employment process, so we'll still have the dusting. and things like that.
All right, so we'll do that for everyone.
And on top of that, the other employment issue was, I'm sure most people have heard by now, about the hire that we're going to take action on tonight for the work, so it's all through. So Tom said he's back on Friday, he's going to do the applications.
Anything else? Ms.
oh,
Kelly?
thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Mayor. Basically, the quid came and it was delivered on June 5th, and I was thrilled. It was like finally my baby came. So it's beautiful. It's an eye popper, and I would like to have council go to the firehouse, and I can arrange it with the firemen and have pictures taken as an inauguration of this vehicle going on. It's not on the road yet because the men are still training, but it will be on the road soon. So I would like to go over and get pictures. So I'll make arrangements
And they'll do a
with the
little walkthrough
firehouse
for us
and show you. It's just an eye popper. It's fabulous. And the Municipal Alliance, speaking about the overhead and the screen, the Municipal Alliance were contacted by the county, and I think I talked about this at the last meeting, and they want to have a training session, and we'd like to host it for NARCON, so that people can use it in their homes. That's the kind of training that we're going to be giving them.
Once the screen's up and we have
Yeah.
chairs, I think.
So I think once we get that set, then we can count.
Yeah, they can count on us, I
We
think.
can count on having the hosting here. And I have a public safety meeting coming up on Thursday at 4:30, and we'll be meeting probably in the judges' chambers. Otherwise, it might be too hot upstairs.
We can meet in my office if you want to know. I'll give out Pepsi.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Where's your office?
I've never been in your office.
Wow, you're gonna let them in your office. Wow, first chief in 30 years, yeah. You learn the secret handshake. You know?
Chairs zip ties?
So you can't have you one.
So on Thursday at 4:30, John, Patty, and I, Rich, you're in on that if you want to be. I think you got the proposed
I have the
agenda.
agenda, so-
Everybody has their proposed agenda. Chief, you got your proposed agenda.
And we'll meet in my office.
Yeah,
All right,
all
sounds
right,
good.
that sounds good.
Wow, he's hosting. All of a sudden hosting.
Very nice.
So we
So,
got the OK Corral.
There's a lot of issues that we're going to be discussing. I don't want to go into it now, and we'll come back with you at the meeting next week.
Okay, good. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Ms. Patz?
That sounds wonderful. Okay, Saturday, July 4th, of course, it is our 4th of July. So in the morning, we will have rain or shine, we will have the bike parade, which will begin at 9 o'clock. And that is for the best decorated bike. And then the baby parade will begin at 9:30. Registration is at 9:15, so come early. And our main parade will start at 1:30. Our main parade will start at 1 o'clock, sharp, on the dot, at 1. So if you're a vendor, please show up at 12:30 so you can get assigned in your position. And a rain date for the parade is Sunday, July 5th at 1 o'clock. And so I hope to see everybody out there and either walking the streets or driving in a car and whatever. It'll be a beautiful day.
You gonna be playing?
Playing.
You're playing? Okay, anything else? That's the big event, I know that's a lot. We're all set?
We're set.
We're set. Okay.
Have to get my books.
We have any other business? No other business? I have no other business. All right, we're gonna go to good and welfare. Good, this portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address.
Alessandro, 831 North Oakland Avenue. Thank you, Mike. It hasn't much time, but Christopher enjoyed going to the rec program. Question for Mr. Bayshore.
Yes.
Did I sort of hear that it might be contemplated a new roof on the Harry Williams building? And if so, could we look into maybe solar panels?
We looked into solar a few years ago, and the roof wasn't conducive to it. Do you remember that report? We had a company came in and looked at most of our properties, and they were none of them were great. But the roof project, we've got the roof fixed. We hope it's fixed for now. But,
Is it?
you don't understand money. So, yeah, if you want to stop by and look. But you understand where, even though Mr. Bayshore and Mr. Wright might be saying 2016, you understand there's other things. So it might be 2017. There's
Yeah, I was just
we're
wondering.
starting to print money in the police station.
Because I thought we're getting done with the state offering grants, or was that just residential
For the roof or for the
for the solar?
solar? There was nothing really that we were.
There was nothing
applying
that
for.
was
The only thing we're trying to
available.
get right now was an energy grant to replace all the lights in the Harry Williams building, the senior center, the library, replace the HVA system for the senior center. They were willing to give us 75% if we put up 25%.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to explain a little more detail the roof?
Right.
Yeah, the weight of the solar.
It would, yeah, because I looked into it for our house, and our house is not conducive to solar panels.
They wanted us to put the, kind of like the evolutions, they wanted us to make the carports out in the parking lot. That was their answer to us. And I don't think the residents will take that.
Oh, no, I don't think so. But
We
thank
won't
you.
need a tent.
Thank you. Yeah, no more tents.
Thanks, Val.
Mom, you want to come up?
Hello. Hello, Mayor and Council.
State your name.
I'm Herbert James Spencer Jr. So, I need to work on a project. I was told by Ms. Patio, I always forgot how to pronounce your name first name. So, I was told by Ms. Patio that in Green Acres in the Rock Garden, that there's that sign, so that it would be nice if it could be replaced, and I need, not replaced, or redesigned, as you said?
What Bob was looking for.
He needs a project?
An Eagle
Life.
project. Was that what it was?
Life
An
project.
Eagle?
A life project?
Oh, okay. I don't know what a life project
Yeah,
is.
describe a life
Can you
project.
explain it to us, what a life project is?
A life project is sort of like the same thing as an Eagle project,
Oh.
service project. Like, I could like clean up the rock garden, or put in a new sign or something like that. So, I'm here today to get permission to do something like that.
Well,
Well,
can
what I
I
had said to him was, when I was told about, I thought it was an Eagle project, but it's a life, what is it again?
Life project.
Life project, okay. I had suggested, I had thought, and I was even talking to Eleanor in regards to that, this was last night, about we need the, as you go into Green Acres, all that rock area there, we can, remember I was talking to you about it last year, about the sign change and fix that all up into whatever he might want to plan to do. So he has to have a plan, he has to have a drawing, and also, the Women's Club, if he presents that properly, the Women's Club can also help out in giving him funds for that. So
Well, one thing I will
Well, he would have to
piggyback on.
come to us.
Yes, he
And we
would.
would have to make a decision.
What's your
That
time
would be
frame?
my
When do you have to
suggestion.
do this and?
I have to have it by at least December.
By December, okay?
Yeah. And I'd like to actually get it done before the fall.
Okay.
So I'm aiming for like the second, third week in August. Do it.
Well, I will say this, and it's great you say the Women's Club and obviously the council is supporting them. Our Rotary Club is also looking to do something at Green Acres. So maybe if we all come together and help out and come up with a project, and you could be our laborer, and we'll work something out for you. But Bobby, we know how to get a hold of you.
Tell us,
How's
what
that
do
for
you have to do? That, do you have to have, I'm sure you have to write down guidelines, or what do you have to do?
Like I was,
Yourself.
like for the project, it's pretty much a cleanup project, and sometimes people put up flagpole or they put up benches or signs or stuff like that. Like legal project and a scout project and a life project are pretty much the same, I'm not sure, from what I've noticed. So I was going to clean up the rock garden.
So when you meet with the
Bobby,
Rotary,
if you do come to the Women's Club, you have to bring a leader with you.
Okay.
All right.
What we'll do is we'll have a meeting down there, and I agree, you come up with a plan and then propose it to the Women's Club.
I think it's important for Bobby to start working on, your thoughts in terms of what you want to do, and if you have an idea for how you want to design that sign, you might want to start working on that now, so as you meet with the other groups, you've got something to show them as a starting point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or benches, or even flagpoles, I think all those are great ideas. That property needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
If you want some feedback on your ideas or your progress, what's on paper, you can email me, Patty, and we can take a look at it too.
And all go down together.
And then the funding, is that what you need? You need some support to help pay for materials and things like that?
No, I can't think I've gotten control. I just need permission.
Hire.
She's in Here's to you.
Mom, do you have anything
We're
to
looking for a
say?
boat ramp, you put a boat ramp in.
Are you funding this, or?
Hey, Bob,
We'll work with you.
when you get free money, you take it. Forever the money.
What I need from the council is permission to do this.
We'll go down there one day, we'll come up with a plan. One day, you're
We'll
off from
definitely help
school,
you.
we'll go down there and we'll do something.
All right.
Great, thanks.
We'll make arrangements, all right?
Okay.
Thanks,
Could
Bob.
you give me your name again and address?
Robert James Bankster, 625. Bankster, BNSKTER. I live at 625 Williams Avenue, Runnemede, New Jersey.
625 Williams. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, anyone else wish to speak? Is there a motion to close the public portion?
I make a motion to close the public portion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor? Public portion is closed. Any other business?
What, are we going to talk about the situation with the business that wants to open up?
I think it's more of a committee issue, because that's an ordinance
Who's
issue.
that committee?
I think we need to decide, I've only come to my attention the past 2 days.
What committee would handle it? Or is it just strictly?
Just anybody who wants to get involved?
Has it come officially to council? Has it come officially to council?
No.
No.
Then there's nothing to do. It hasn't come officially to council.
You go from the planning board?
Here's what I understand, quickly, sir, is that the person who's going to be attending went before the zoning board and got approval to have a business in a location.
The zoning official.
Zoning official. And got permission from a zoning perspective only to have this business in this location. What that person apparently didn't do, nor did the owner of the building, bother to find out what else was required. Okay? And the litany of what needs to be done, as required by our ordinance, is long.
Extensive.
And extensive, and if you look at it, it makes sense. I mean, like crazy things like men's and women's bathrooms. Men and women are going to be occupying the premises. And then from what I've understood, now, I don't know the place, I haven't been there, it's not a very large place.
Do you know the property?
I don't.
Okay, so what I'm understanding is this person may be coming to you and saying, I need relief.
Well, when they come in front of the planning board first?
Yes.
They come in front of council?
According to the letter from
It comes to us?
Keith, from Keith.
Oh, I did see it, but I
What Keith said in his email, that it comes before you.
Okay.
But it needs to come before you formally. I want to appeal to council X, Y, Z, so you know what's
we'll
going
wait
on.
for the appeal.
But that also gives you an opportunity to know in advance.
I think it's not to review it, to look at it.
Correct. To look
Okay,
at
because we don't even know what
and
building it is.
understand what it is, because right now, we've got an email.
Yeah, we have an
With a
email.
litany of things that have to be done.
Okay, so I would hope if this person, this applicant wants to appeal to us, they should give us notice so that we can review it prior to any council meeting and things like that, so that we would be able to go with it. If they just show up in a council meeting, we're basically say we can't make a decision at that time until we review it, because none of us know, does anybody know the address? I don't know.
No.
It's 117 North Blackbird Pike.
Right, no.
117.
It's right next to the,
Service master.
yeah, service.
You know where Mark Anthony's is?
Oh, okay, right there.
Right in that block, right there.
Oh, the old beauty.
So it's permitted use, but there's requirements
Yes.
to bring it up to code.
Permitted use, but he has to meet X, Y, and Z requirements.
Okay,
To
right.
build up the code.
Gotcha.
According to our ordinance.
Okay, we'll deal with it if it comes to our attention.
Okay.
All right, was there anything else? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.